3 o'clock hour, holiday weekend. Happy 4th of July weekend to everybody out there listening to the Valenti Show with Rico. Mike off, but you got me, David, Kenny, even Evan Jenkins is going to join us a little bit later on in the show. Kind of talked about food items that should or should not be at the barbecues this weekend. If you missed the first hour, use that Odyssey rewind. But right now, I do want to ask a question, and I really need you to put on your thinking caps. And don't just give me the knee-jerk reaction, but really do some thinking about this. But once again, it's almost as if the city planner who works in Boston just plans parades. They just seem to keep winning championships year after year after year. David, I think they got at least, 12, 13 championships since 2000.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. The Bruins, Celtics, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like
Patriots.
They've all, Red Sox.
Yeah, oh my, gee.
They've all won. They've had parades. We're slowly but surely coming up to 20 years since the last time we had a parade here in Detroit. 20 years. We're close. We're what 4 years away from that?
Yeah.
So it was 2008. Yeah. It's been a long time. Kenny's rubbing his face. My question is this: when's it our time? When do we get to have the parade down where you've seen Denver had one for the Nuggets. Like, you've seen places you're like, really? The Las Vegas Knights had a parade. They just joined the NHL, and they've already had a parade since we've had one here.
Listen, I'm looking through this. Boston Red Sox, 04, 07, 13, 18. Celtics, 08, 24. Patriots, 01, 03, 04, 14, 16, 18. And then the Bruins just throw in 2011. It feels like every year.
David, the city planner is just like, well, we need a parade budget. You have to have a parade budget if you're the city planner for the city of Boston. You do. Here, yeah, we can go ahead and put that on something else because we don't have parades. So I'm going to give you a question, and I want you to answer this honestly and truthfully. Think about it. 248-539-9797. When does Detroit get their next parade in the four major sports? I will give you options. You don't have to say, and I need to know the team. If you call in or you text in, does it happen in the next 1 to 3 years? The next 4 to 6 years? 6 to 9 years? Or are we kind of on that Steve Eiser plan 10 years or more before we finally get a title in this city? 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 6 to 9, or 10 or more years before it happens here. Look at the state of the teams where they are right now. I know the easiest answer. 248-539-9797. David, I don't have to. The ticket texts and the phone lines are going to start getting flooded of the Lions. It's got to be the Lions. Lions are going to happen. It's going to be 1 to 3 years. Let me hit the pause button on that. I don't think so. It's not being a Lion hater. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to kill a lot of hopes and dreams the way Tom Brady did. Think of all the teams and all the cities and all the quarterbacks that just knew we had the team to win it all, and you didn't because of Brady. Think about last year. That may have been the worst Kansas City Chiefs team in a long time, and they still won the Super Bowl. Mahomes and the Ravens, not Mahomes, but Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. The Ravens have home field. Remember, the Chiefs didn't have home field. The Chiefs, they struggled to get into the playoffs. They're playing games on the road. They don't have a wide receiver. Kadarius Toney is their best wide receiver. This is a team this was their worst team ever, and this team still won the Super Bowl. So long as Patrick Mahomes is in the league, I don't know if the Lions will be that next team because it's going to take a lot, require some luck, but then once you finally get there, you got to knock off Mahomes. Kyle Shanahan can't do it. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens couldn't do it. The only one who has was Tom Brady. He's gone. So before you give me the knee-jerk Lions, now you could call up and, plead your case because maybe you feel like the Lions can do it in the next 3 years. But 1 to 3 years, 4 to 6 years, 6 to 9, or 10-plus years, who is that team? David, I'll give you my team. And this may shock some people. I'll give you the team first. I'll give you when it happens second. I think the team is the Tigers. Here's why. Tigers have proven they can come up with a pitching staff year after year after year. The only thing missing off this team is actually hitting. They have a war chest. They're just cheap, frugal, and don't know how to go out there and go and bring in some bats. But if all of a sudden the light bulb clicks on for Scott Harris and they bring in some bats, not relying on the young guys, but you just get some bats to maybe mix in with the young guys, you're going to have pitching. When it comes to baseball, having the best record overall, it's almost like hockey. It's detrimental to you. You actually don't want that. You just need to make the playoffs. You just need to get hot. You need to have that great pitching staff because that's when things are going to get tight. I think the Tigers can do that because they're not strapped for cash. They have money to spend on free agents. They just have not done it. That's what's so frustrating about watching this team because we wouldn't be talking about trading your pitchers. We were talking about adding bats, and we'd be talking about making this thing work. I think the Tigers can. It depends on how smart they get in adding some bats and adding some free agency. But I'll say 4 to 6, Detroit Tigers. That's my choice. What's yours? 248-539-9797. When's the next time Detroit's going to get a championship in the 4 major sports? It's almost about to be 20 years, folks. Okay, it was 2008 Wings. Now, every year, it's waiting until next year, waiting until next year, waiting until next year. On paper, it looks like the Lions are next. But then there's Patrick Mahomes standing there. And I don't think that you're going to get past Mahomes because I think Mahomes is going to take the hopes and dreams away from a lot of NFL teams. He's going to go on a Tom Brady-like run where he's going to win a ton of Super Bowls. That's just how it is. Because that was the worst Kansas City team that's probably have been around in a while, and they still were better than everybody else. Who's going to be the team? How long is it going to take before we get a sports championship here going down the streets of Woodward? 248-539-9797. Your ticket text, your phone calls next. 97.1.